There it is. All right. All right. Yeah, joining you via this video chat to talk about this Saturday's performance, bringing three different ensembles together at Rhizome in Tacoma Park, Washington, D.C. RHIZOME-DC Art and Learning Center is located in a beautiful little white house that is located at 6950 Maple Street, Northwest in Washington, D.C., real close to the Tacoma Park Metro station. I am joined early this morning. We're actually recording this at about quarter after 12. I'm looking at a clock. And I'm being joined with my friend, longtime friend, James Demby, artist and independent music researcher, um, because he is the founder and principal writer and guitarist and leader of Man, Myth, and Magic, which is one of the three groups that are going to be joining me at Rhizome. Again, that's this Saturday, April 11th. 7 p.m. is when stuff is supposed to jump off. Jimmie Void, how are you?
I am doing good, very good.
I heard Tatsuya Nakatani tonight, and it was I'm still processing it. So if I seem a little stunned, I walked out of that concert pretty close to 3 hours ago, and I'm still shaken by it. There's still room in this thing called music for whole new continents of ideas and areas of research. And it was amazing to hear that. Talk to us, please, about the area of research that you've been exploring with the
Yeah,
ensemble, with the three M's in the name. Talk to us about
yeah.
it.
Man, myth, and magic. Yeah. So as you know, I'm a longtime funkadelic fan and fan of Sun Ra, and those and other things. I came up through the Norfolk, Virginia underground rock scene, so a lot of things have informed me as far as sonic influences. And so what we do in Mammoth and Magic is really kind of like dealing with my music schizophrenia, right? It's all these
Oh,
different influences coming together and being channelized through just how I view the world. And the things that move me musically are groove and abstractions. And I really like to kind of blend those things to like a psychedelic type of thing, that music that'll stimulate the mind but also make you move a little bit too. So music is powerful. It's a force, and
it
it's
is a power. It is a
yeah,
power for sure.
and and it's universal. It touches people. People can listen to sounds and music, and they don't speak your tongue, but yet they can feel the vibrations that come through the sound. And that sound energy is powerful, and it can do
Powerful.
a lot. It can motivate people. It can make people want to get up and move, make people sit down and think. um, it can make you angry. It can make you feel joy. It's a very powerful force, and we like to try to channel that in ways that's positive. And positive doesn't always mean it makes you feel good, but it's positive if it makes you think, or if it makes you feel something. And that's what we're trying to do with our music.
Development, the human condition must be ushered through its various stages of development. And
Absolutely.
something has happened where colonialism has infected time and frozen us in this dark epic with all of this 20th century violence and racial separatist, supremacist mayhem leaking deep now into the 21st century. I'm pleased to be one of the acts that night with a trio that debuted at Rhizome this fall. And that trio is using the name of a very famous historical figure. Gullah Jack is myself, Bushmeat Sound, with L. Nathan Starnes playing guitar, mouthbow, friction drum, and talking drums. Christopher Downing playing synthesizers, effects. Both gentlemen are also playing samples. And these guys are friends of mine from, you remember Newman Olingam, I think. That was a group that was active from about 1993 until the early, how did people even say that now? The 2000s, the early
Yeah,
aughts. And, um, they're friends, and we hadn't made music in a long time. And somehow, and through some series of accidents, we've got a recording out that we wanted to brag about. We're proud of it. It's called "What About the Future," and we have a sound that I think is very compatible with the other two groups, which include again what you're doing, Jimmie Boy, with Man, Myth, and Magic, but also our friend from Atlanta, Chris Cook, who we had hoped would be on this call. Um, he's bringing his group up from Atlanta, and they're called the Northern Scenic Route Arkestra. And they have a very interesting sound that also has a lot. Sun Ra talked about his work as a musician being constrained by principles of what he called tone science, and understanding that Sun Ra alluded to or referenced as a way of organizing sound in a way that has very consequential impact on how the human being and collectives of human beings are situated in time and space. There's an architectural, there's a part of music that actually is, if you know about cymatics, there's something about these vibrations that are structural, even though the stuff of music is just air in motion.
right. That's all sound is air in motion.
Man, I want to push you in the spot and just tell people, I really love your guitar playing. I'm coming
Oh,
out on Saturday and, looking forward to hearing how you put your ideas in the context of that ensemble. Talk to us a little bit about the other people you'll be playing with, which includes another one of my friends. We'll say get that right out up front. Um, but talk to us more about your collective and who's in it and what you guys will be doing on Saturday.
yeah, yeah. So I have a pretty sizable group. So on bass, I have a brother named Keith Morris. Actually, went to high school with him, so I've known him for a long time. But he just started playing bass over the past couple of years, and he's come along very well and added a lot to the group since he's joined it. Have a reed player, Michael Dressner, young cat. He plays baritone sax and tenor sax with us. Very, very, very positive, strong player. Um, have another multi instrumentalist, Henry Lohman. He plays let's see, for us he plays trumpet and flute, but he plays a lot of other string instruments. He makes his own instruments too, which is pretty impressive. I have a brother named Bernard Davis on drums. Uh, uh, sec, uh, Percussion player Alfonso Coles. Another percussionist, Joshua Blunt, and I have a vocalist percussionist, Aparna Mundra. She's been on Aparna for a few years. Very, very spiritual, positive woman, and a longtime friend, Larry Alexander, known as LA, on keyboards. And I think I get everybody. I may have missed somebody. we,
It's a
we
lot
we
of
have we have
people,
like some
man.
satellite people that kind of come in
It's
and
a
out.
lot of people.
A whole lot of folks.
Yeah. I had a chance to play just last month, March 20th actually, at a restaurant in Seat Pleasant with your that group, the
Right.
the cast of players that you just ran through. And man, the energy in the room was really nice, and people locked into your groove, your vibe. There was even a little go-go percussion in the mix. It was really nice, and we Chris came out to that gig, and we both put our heads together and we said, how are they going to get all those people into Rhizome, the front room at Rhizome? Rhizome is um, I don't know that it's hard if you're not aware. It's difficult if you're talking to somebody who's not aware of just how valuable these small rooms are for the development of underground music. And if we lose, that hardcore independent underground, I would argue that we lose really the creative fountain that produces the vast majority of the music that turns out to be about something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, we've put our energies in the direction of something that we are happy to share with our community, to share with people that are going through the same kinds of pressures and anxieties that any of the artists that you'll hear on Saturday. We're all going through the same processes as we witness um, society sliding into this very dangerous and violent time. So, to be clear, I understand and we understand that there isn't a lot of margin. There isn't a lot of space within this set of converging crises for music that is simply a distraction, music that is simply some more content to fill time and keep us from focusing on the things that limit our development and distort our development. Um, so I think there's a way. I believe there's a way. I know there's a way because I've seen it happen of approaching this idea of presenting music to the public, inviting people into a sound space that you have created as a gift to other human beings. Um, Tatsuya's set tonight, it just was, it shook me up. It shook me up because I had to take into consideration a full accounting of what actually was given to me. I gave a guy at the door some money, and then that happened to me. This life experience, this experience as a being in consciousness that I couldn't do for myself. I couldn't have done that for myself. I don't think I could have found that anyplace else, to be honest with you. It was really quite extraordinary. Jimmie Void, what's the name of your group about? Tell us about that.
Man, myth, and magic. Um, so it's funny you ask. So actually, I lifted that name from a series of occult and supernatural encyclopedia and periodicals that came out in the late 60s and early 70s out of the UK. Um, but I changed the spelling of Magic and put a K after the C. And but what attracted me to the name, um, other than being part of that encyclopedia series, was really looking at transformation and how how we as people, man, um, are kind of bound by the myths that we prescribe to, right? And everything is myth. Science is myth. Religion,
Money.
um, money, all power, all that. Everything is myth, right? And myths are make up people's belief systems, or BS, as I like to call it, right? And so we prescribe to this BS. And what I hope that through our music, it gives people a chance to kind of maybe step away from that kind of stuff, and really hopefully our music can help them transform. And that's the magic of music, it's
You've got a
transformation.
vocalist in the group and a lyrical component. What are your
Yeah,
lyrics about?
Shil Ray. I had to forget to mention him. Shil Ray, he's our poet. And what's great about him is that he is very open, and he has a interesting way of looking at things. And how we work together, I might throw an idea or a concept with him. I might just say a phrase. He goes back and he comes back with something brilliant, you know. And he just really he has a really great way of taking concepts and either my concepts or things that he's working on, and presenting it in a way that it's not necessarily linear, but it's getting the point across in a way that you can grasp it and know what he's talking about. And so he's our he's been our secret weapon as far as that. And he's a good performer. He gets out there and gets into the performance.
Well, that's a good place to stop, James. Fela Kuti told us that music is the weapon of the future. And if this is indeed the future, then we are here to um, attune our weapons to the needs of the people who are on the downside, the receiving side of all this war and conflict. So we thank you in advance for coming out to Rhizome DC this Saturday, April 11th. 7 o'clock is when the music will start. Um, and it's at 6950 Maple Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. Bushmeat Sound. And again, you'll get a chance to hear Gullah Jack, Chris Cook's North Scenic Route Arkestra, and James Demby, aka Jimmie Void's Man, Myth, and Magic. See you Saturday. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you.